Thank you for joining today's online travel presentation. It's the perfect time of year to talk about the best places to ring in the new year. My name is Lynn, and I am pleased to be your moderator for this presentation. We understand that this year most people are staying home for New Year's, but it is the perfect time to start gathering ideas and planning for next year. So thank you for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to mention two things. The first is we will hold all questions until the end. If you have questions during the presentation, please type them in the question box in the GoToWebinar toolbar, and we will cover them at the end of the webinar. And second, there will be two polling questions during the presentation, and we encourage you to participate by typing your answers into that same comment box. So let's get started. As I mentioned, I am Lynn, and I'll be your moderator, and I am pleased to introduce our presenter, Suzanne, one of our knowledgeable rail specialists. So now that you know who we are, we'd like to get to know a little bit more about you in our first polling question. Have you ever celebrated New Year's on vacation? We'll leave this poll open for a bit to let everyone type in their responses. Okay, it looks as though just 15% of our attendees have vacationed over the New Year holiday. So we hope we can provide some inspiration for future years as we talk about some great destinations and itineraries for New Year's. Now, whether you want to call it superstition or lore, many cultures suggest that what you do on New Year's Day is what you will do all year long. So if you dislike doing the dishes, be sure to pass off that chore to someone else on New Year's Day. And if you love travel and exploring new destinations, vacationing over the New Year's holiday is a step towards ensuring more leisure travel in the year to come. Spending the New Year time period in a new or favorite destination also gives you the opportunity to celebrate like a local while treating yourself to the gift of travel. Vacations by Rail offers a variety of vacations for every travel style and occasion, including New Year's. We are the leading rail vacations company in the United States and the trusted authority on rail. Our collection of vacations span the globe, and the cornerstone of each is a rail journey aboard at least one of the world's iconic trains. Now I'm pleased to introduce Suzanne, who's going to share some of the great destinations perfect for welcoming a new year.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lynn. Hi, everybody. As Lynn mentioned, my name is Suzanne, and I've actually been with the company for 14 years. So talking about these trips is both fun and just, an extra thing I love to do here. Love to share my knowledge with everybody. And traveling over the New Year's holiday actually makes an already celebratory time of the year feel extra special. A getaway to faraway locales makes New Year's vacations even more special. So let's turn our attention to Europe and beyond. The first itinerary I'd like to talk about today actually finds us in two extraordinary countries over the holidays, Italy and Switzerland. To give you a quick overview of this Italian Christmas and Swiss New Year, it is an 11-day tour, and we embark on this winter adventure over the festive season, spending Christmas beside Lake Como and celebrating the New Year in Switzerland. Where else better than to do there? And this is, as I mentioned, an 11-day tour. It is escorted that leaves just before Christmas. And real quick, just to let you know, escorted does mean that you will be traveling with a group and a tour guide, so that's a bonus. We make an unforgettable memory in Europe with New Year's sleigh ride in Grindelwald and two magnificent rail journeys on the Jungfrau Railroad and the Bernina Express. Additional highlights with this trip include a scenic cruise to Bellagio and Menaggio and a special New Year's Eve dinner in Interlaken. Some scenic highlights of the itinerary do include, if you have a look here at these photos going clockwise, you can follow along with me. It's so beautiful. It's an image of Interlaken followed by Grindelwald, Bernina Express, Strasbourg, Christmas lights, Jungfrau Railroad, and of course, St. Moritz. And just to go over a few highlights, we do include two scenic rail excursions, the Bernina Express and Jungfrau Railroad. Definitely, a big draw for a lot of people traveling to the region. And then, of course, we do a New Year's sleigh ride in Grindelwald, which is a very unique experience. Next, we visit Russia and Norway on this 12-day Golden Eagle Arctic Explorer quest for the Northern Lights New Year. What a better way to ring in the new year than with the Aurora Borealis. Excuse me, folks. Just to give you a quick vacation overview here, this is another escorted tour, so traveling with a group and a tour guide, and it begins in St. Petersburg and ends in Moscow. Along the way, we celebrate the New Year and Russian Christmas in style, while we board for 5 nights on the Golden Eagle luxury train and bucket list expedition into the Russian and Norwegian Arctic Circle in pursuit of the Northern Lights. So it's definitely a very fun and unique journey. And again, some beautiful images here for you to follow along if you look at them going clockwise. For our destinations, you'll see there's an image New Year holidays in St. Petersburg with all those lights. We do the Northern Lights in Murmansk, St. Isaac's Cathedral, Moscow, and dog sledding near Kirkany. Moving on, let's look at some of the highlights here, and you can see in that image, I mean, that's highlight enough with that beautiful luxury train. But while there is no doubt that 5 nights on board that incomparable Golden Eagle luxury train is a highlight of this itinerary, there's so many other unique excursions and inclusions that make this New Year itinerary extra special. For example, we do visit the Snow Hotel in Kirkany, where we will tour the hotel with its ice sculptures and snow paintings. We do continue on with a sleigh ride to a nearby fisherman's lodge where a king crab meal beside a roaring fire awaits. So that's really neat. Not something that you usually get in trip, but you definitely do with this one. Of course, you know, keep touring in watchful anticipation of the Aurora Borealis in and around the Arctic Circle. And we do also get to celebrate Russian Christmas Eve with a Karelian folk performance, followed by a traditional meal. And Russian Christmas Day finds us in Vladimir and Suzdal, where a horse-drawn sleigh ride through the stunning location is a highlight. So that's extremely amazing. Now, moving back to North America, of course, you know, Europe has beautiful sights to offer during the holiday season, but North America also offers many great destinations for New Year's celebrations, giving many of today's attendees some great choices a little closer to home if you don't want to travel so far away. So let's go and discover some of these options together. First, we'll have a look at the Aurora viewing at Bettles Lodge. So if Russia, as I said, you know, is a bit too far afield for you, there are some great locations to see the Northern Lights in North America. And during the New Year's holiday, the Aurora viewing at Bettles Lodge is definitely just the ticket for that. This particular tour is a 6-day independent tour. Independent, unlike escorted that we talked about, independent, it's still all set up for you and everything is taken care of, but you are traveling on your own, not with a group or a tour guide. While this one offers departures throughout the fall and winter, this does also offer a great way to ring in the new year, because Alaska is a land filled with wild beauty and interesting destinations. You know, you get to enjoy the best of both worlds on this expedition, because your time here is marked by adventures through 2 great Alaskan cities and enjoying the peace and quiet of nature. Your journey begins in Anchorage, where you board the Alaska Railroad bound for Fairbanks. It's in Fairbanks that the true adventure begins, though, because there, as you travel by plane to Bettles Lodge, we go just past the Arctic Circle. And here, without the distractions of the modern world, you have a chance to observe nature's most colorful display before traveling back to Fairbanks. Now, it's important to note that we spend 2 nights in Bettles Lodge, but this itinerary can be customized to ensure additional nights if that's something that you're looking for. Just let your rail specialist know when you call in, and they can accommodate this request. However, just real quick, because New Year's travel is definitely popular, you'll definitely want to plan well in advance to ensure additional hotel nights are available. And then if we just have a quick look at these images, again, follow clockwise, is an image of Bettles Lodge, the Yukon River, Aurora Borealis, Fairbanks, Anchorage, Northern Lights over Fairbanks. Pretty spectacular. Highlights do include a stay, as we mentioned briefly, at Bettles Lodge. Definitely a highlight here. It is located in one of the best places to see the Aurora Borealis in all of Alaska, and it's directly under the auroral band. Bettles officially has the most clear weather days in the entire state, which means more cloud-free nights of opportunity to see the majestic lights dance in the sky. And there is a rustic aurora viewing cabin 2.7 miles from the lodge on a mile-long lake, so that's pretty amazing. So after the sun goes down, we get to enjoy hot chocolate, tea, or coffee in the warming cabin. There's absolutely no light pollution at the cabin, and the lake offers a great 360-degree view of the night sky, so bettering the chances. Now, moving on to the next trip, staying in Alaska, and during a season where northern lights are the backdrop for your New Year's celebration, I'm excited to tell you about the Alaska Winterland. This itinerary has it all: a winter train ride, hot springs, and the aurora borealis, an excellent way to usher in the new year. Just a quick vacation overview. This is another independent tour. It does also offer departures throughout the winter season. Ensure that you're in Alaska over the New Year's holiday and celebrate in true winter wonderland. And if that's what you are looking to do, then this trip is definitely the place to do it, because it does offer, a unique aspect in that it's a rail and drive vacation. So that means that you're truly setting your own pace as you meander along Alaska's scenic highway and off the beaten path. So you can kind of set your own itinerary within the itinerary given. We do begin in Anchorage, where you pick up your rental car and follow scenic highway along the coast of Alaska. And then go into Cook Inlet en route to the Alyeska Resort in Girdwood. We spend 2 days here enjoying the resort's amenities, which range from skiing and snowmobiling to snowshoeing and winter hikes. We then return to Anchorage by car, return to Anchorage by car and board the iconic Aurora Winter Train for a journey north to Fairbanks, where you spend the evening. And then from Fairbanks, you enjoy an included transfer to Chena Hot Springs Resort, which is definitely known as a place of relaxation, immense natural beauty, and a chance to view the magical Aurora Borealis. You do spend 2 days soaking up the offerings of this Alaskan hotspot before transferring back to Fairbanks and subsequently flying to Anchorage, where your vacation concludes. Again, following clockwise is the Chena Hot Springs, the Aurora Winter Train, the Alyeska Resort, Girdwood, and Fairbanks. And the stay at this hot springs is memorable inclusion, really, because it's a resort that's located an hour east of Fairbanks and is situated in the best position for Aurora Borealis viewing. Its amenities include natural hot springs, a heated pool, and hot tubs. You get to relax during the day because the evening is when the adventure really happens on the Aurora viewing expedition, which includes transportation to the top of a nearby hill for an unobstructed view of the northern lights. And of course, you have a heated yurt that's available to you should you need to warm up. That's right there. Next, we're going to discuss the Pacific Northwest at Christmas time. And this is an itinerary that showcases this destination very well during the season in the Pacific Northwest at Christmas time tour. You get to explore the festive scenery of Seattle and Vancouver as you discover the winter wonderland these great cities offer. So don't let this the name of this 7-day independent tour dissuade you, because it is perfect for the entire holiday season with daily departures throughout December. But with this one, we do start in Seattle. We're full of wonderful holiday attractions. We tour downtown, the waterfront, and Pioneer Square, including the famous Space Needle. In your free time, you get to explore the city's wonderful Winter Fest. Next, head to inland for an amazing winery tour, and the sightseeing excursion will lead you deep into the rolling Cascade foothills. Then you take a beautiful train ride into Canada as you travel to Vancouver. And there, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's pretty amazing. The Capilano Suspension Bridge part is decked out in color and lights, making for a festive setting for your tour. So not only is it breathtaking to begin with, but it's decked out with all those lights. It's even more beautiful this time of year. You get to stroll through the towering trees, including the world's tallest Christmas tree. And then finally, you get to enjoy a day-long tour of Victoria and Bouchard Gardens. Of course, Bouchard Gardens has a special Christmas tour that provides a festive feel among the wreaths and carol singers. So don't forget to check out Vancouver's Christmas market as well while you're out there. Images that highlight this itinerary going clockwise again include, you'll see Seattle there, an image of Bouchard Gardens, Fairmont, Seattle, Victoria, the Capilano Suspension Bridge, and it's all lit up for the holidays. So that's pretty breathtaking there. Just some highlights. A traveler's favorite on the top of the list for this trip is a 6-hour winery excursion, including a stop at an independent family-run winery, as well as the beloved world-class Chateau Ste. Michelle, which is Washington's oldest and most acclaimed winery. An excursion travels over Lake Washington on Seattle's famous Evergreen Point Bridge, which is the world's second longest floating bridge, to Woodinville, home of dozens of Washington's wineries, actually. Now that we're in Canada, we're going to travel across the provinces on this 11-day independent itinerary that flirts with luxury and whimsical wintertime activities. It is the Luxury Rockies to Toronto, featuring Via Rail's Prestige class, which is definitely the only way to travel. With this, we do begin in the heart of the mountains, with stays in Banff, Lake Louise, and Jasper at stunning Fairmont properties. Surrounded by national parks and vast wilderness, this region is postcard perfect. You'll have ample time to enjoy each location, including a private tour to Banff, before boarding Via Rail's Canadian train, which is a Via Rail route. Trip of a lifetime, really. During your 3 days on this grand train, you will be treated to chef-prepared cuisine, luxurious sleeping accommodations, and breathtaking views as you pass through Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario en route to Toronto. Sites of the diverse architecture, Lake Ontario, and Niagara Falls make the finale of this Canadian New Year's adventure just as memorable as the previous 10 days. So it definitely also ends the right way. Just some visual highlights here of the journey, going clockwise: Toronto, Lake Louise, Via Rail's Canadian route, and a Prestige class cabin, which is definitely the best possible cabin on board that train. And this is a great itinerary for a New Year's holiday, really, because it offers touches of luxury. So we get to stay in 4- and 5-star properties, private tours, and a cozy classic overnight rail journey aboard Via Rail's Canadian Prestige class. The Prestige class, as I mentioned, is the top level of comfort and service for travelers on that train. It's one of the world's greatest train journeys because of this included class. Each cabin has a modular leather L-shaped couch by day and a Murphy bed for 2 by night, facing the window, with electric, radiant heated cabin floors and walls that maintain a comfortable and constant temperature for you. So Prestige class travelers enjoy the services of Prestige concierge available to you. Your spacious cabin with a private washroom and shower also has in-cabin amenities, including a flat-screen TV and video selection. You do also, of course, have a minibar stocked with a selection of beverages and much more. Now, finally, just a quick mention that for most of our tours that are independent vacations, where it's all set up for you, but you're traveling on your own, not with a group or a tour guide, you can enhance your experience with upgrades. You can add on extra excursions, extra nights hotels, possibly just upgrade the hotels or class of service if you like. Each independent package includes different options, so please be sure to speak with your rail specialist for additional ideas. Many of our escorted tours can be customized as well at the beginning or end of the vacation. Not so much in the middle, but with flexible start and end destinations, we can help you with connecting rail, pre- and post-night hotel packages. So again, just make sure to ask your rail specialist if you're looking to add anything extra. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn you back over to the capable hands of Lynn.
Thanks so much, Suzanne. Those were some great itineraries that you went through. So much wonderful information. It is time for another polling question, and here it is. What interests you most about traveling over the New Year holiday? So write in your answer in the GoToWebinar comment box. Maybe you're thinking about spas or the hot springs, outdoor activities, or just experiencing some local customs as highlights. So we'll keep this open for a little bit longer, and then we'll share some results. Okay, We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and it looks as though winter activities are topping the list. And I'm seeing a lot of mentions of the Northern Lights viewing, Suzanne, and that is definitely special for the New Year's holiday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you'd like to learn more about our rail vacations for the holidays or the rest of the year, you can request a Vacations by Rail brochure by calling 877-929-7245 or visiting www.vacationsbyrail.com. So we do have several questions from our attendees, Suzanne. Do you have a few minutes for some answers for us?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. The first question is luggage handling included on your vacations?
With many of our escorted tours, yes, which is a big plus for a lot of folks that like to take escorted over independent. But with independent trips, you are responsible for your own luggage handling.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, do I need a visa to go to Russia from the US? And is this something you can help me with?
That's a really good question. Actually, to enter Russia for any purpose, a U.S. citizen must possess a valid U.S. passport and also have a visa issued by a Russian embassy or consulate. It's impossible to obtain an entry visa upon arrival, so don't count on that. So you definitely want to apply for your visa well in advance. That is something that you do need to take care of independently of us.
Thanks. Are gratuities included on your tours?
They are mostly not. So you are responsible for gratuities. Usually they're done with escorted tours at the end of the trip. With independent trips, also as you go, for any kind of porters, your cabin attendants on board the train, housekeeping staff at the hotels, but you would be taking care of that independently.
Thank you. The next question is, on the Quest for the Northern Lights itinerary, are all of the excursions included?
The ones that we mentioned, absolutely. And, if you were to go on our website, vacationsbyrail.com, and pull up the itinerary, not only would it first give you a list of the inclusions and the highlights, but in each day-by-day itinerary, it'll mention them as well. But yes, they are included.
Fantastic. What classes of service are on the train between Seattle and Vancouver? So I guess we're looking at our Pacific Northwest at Christmastime itinerary.
I'm so
Are you
sorry,
there,
you cut out
Suzanne?
right there. I couldn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What classes of service are on the train between Seattle and Vancouver?
Oh, sure. So on this train, there's two different levels of service. There's coach class and business class. With the train accommodations, coach class offers theater-style seating. And then with the business class, it offers the same amenities as coach, but it does also give you a complimentary newspaper, priority boarding, and detraining. Of course, as with many other trains, business also means wider seats and more legroom and fewer passengers in each car.
Okay, great. Can I add additional nights in the Canadian Rockies on a Canada vacation?
Absolutely. Just let your agent know when you call in and they can assist in getting them added for you. With any, as we mentioned previously, with any independent vacation, we can certainly work on adding extra nights for you.
Okay, wonderful. What types of winter activities are available at my hotel?
That's an interesting question. It really does depend on the weather and where you are. But checking with your concierge is best just to make sure it's best, weather accommodating. But they usually have many options that include excursions such as snowshoeing and hiking.
Okay. I think we have time for one more question, and it is, can I upgrade my hotel room?
On independent tours, you certainly may. Again, just let your agent know and they'll be able to let you know what's available. But upgrading hotel rooms is absolutely available to you.
Wonderful. Well, those were some great questions, and there are many more here. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. But if your question wasn't answered, don't worry. A rail specialist will receive your question and be in touch with you soon to ensure you receive an answer. So to make a reservation, or if you have any questions about our rail vacations, you can contact any of our rail specialists toll free at 877-929-7245. And you can also book online at vacationsbyrail.com. So that wraps up our online presentation for today. Thank you so much for attending and have a very happy new year.